What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we re-breaking down one of the wildest and most unexpected games of the NFL season, the Chicago Bears taking down the Philadelphia Eagles in a massive upset that nobody saw coming. This game didn't just flip the stat sheet. It flipped the playoff conversation. It flipped the expectations for both teams. And it might just be the moment the Bears' season and maybe their future turns around. Before we get into the details of how Chicago pulled this off, let's talk about the setup. Because trust me, the magnitude of this upset is bigger than most people realize. The Eagles came into this game as clear favorites, arguably one of the top NFC teams, a squad loaded with veterans, explosive weapons, and championship-level expectations. This is a team that knows how to win, that thrives in high-pressure moments, and that's been treating most opponents like warm-ups on their way to the postseason. Their fanbase wasn't worried about the Bears. They were already looking ahead to playoff seeding, home field advantages, and deep postseason runs. The Bears, on the other hand, came into this game with a very different story. All season long, Chicago has been the definition of inconsistent. One week they look like a playoff sleeper. The next, they look like they're still building from the ground up. Fans have been frustrated, analysts have been skeptical, and national media barely gave Chicago a chance. They weren't expected to win this game, not by a long shot. And that's what makes what happened so unbelievable. From the opening series, it felt like Chicago had walked into the game with something to prove. This wasn't the hesitant, inconsistent team we saw earlier in the season. This was a team playing with swagger, confidence, physicality. They didn't care what the spread was, or what the analysts predicted, or how unstoppable the Eagles were supposed to be. They came in ready to punch first, and keep punching. The Bears' defense set the tone right away. One of the biggest problems for teams facing the Eagles this year has been their inability to disrupt the rhythm of Philadelphia as offense. The Eagles thrive on timing, quick passes, aggressive runs, well-designed reads. But Chicago didn't let any of that happen. The defensive line brought relentless pressure, collapsing pockets, cutting off running lanes, and forcing the Eagles into uncomfortable situations. The pass rush wasn't just effective, it was disruptive. Every time the Eagles tried to extend drives, Chicago shut it down. The linebackers played disciplined, smart football, reading plays before they happened. And the secondary stepped up with tight coverage, refusing to let Philly's big play receivers run wild. This didn't look like a Bears defense trying to hang on. This looked like a Bears defense controlling the game. And on offense, Chicago played arguably its most complete game of the season. The offensive line deserves major credit. They held their ground, protected the quarterback, and opened up the run game in a way we haven't seen consistently this year. When Chicago can run the ball effectively, everything else clicks. And that's exactly what happened. The quarterback played composed, confident football. No panic throws. No unnecessary risks. Just smart decisions and sharp execution. When the opportunity for big plays came, he took them. When the safe play was the right play, he made it. That kind of maturity at the quarterback position is exactly what Chicago fans have been waiting for. The receivers and tight ends stepped up too. Clutch catches, physical plays, and crucial conversions on third down kept the offense moving and kept the Eagles' defense guessing. Every time Chicago needed someone to make a play, someone delivered. But the real beauty of this game was the balance. Chicago didn't rely on just one thing to pull off this upset. They played complete, complementary football. Offense helping defense, defense helping offense, special teams making solid contributions. One of the biggest turning points came in the middle of the game, when it felt like Philadelphia was finally starting to build momentum. The crowd was getting into it, the Eagles were driving, and it looked like they might take control. But the Bears' defense made a crucial stand, shutting down what should have been a confidence-shifting drive for the Eagles. Moments later, Chicago answered with a long, punishing drive of their own. The kind of drive that drains the clock, drains a defense, and drains confidence from the other sideline. That's when it hit everyone watching. The Bears weren't just surviving this game, they were taking it. As the fourth quarter rolled around, the Bears were still playing with the same intensity they had in the first drive. The energy on the sideline was different. The body language was different. For the first time in a long time, Chicago looked like the team that truly believed they were supposed to win. When the final whistle blew, it didn't feel like a fluke. It didn't feel like an accident. It felt like a team that executed a plan, played disciplined football, handled pressure, and proved the rest of the league wrong. And now the big question. What does this mean for the Bears going forward? This win doesn't just boost their playoff hopes, it changes the narrative. It builds confidence. It builds chemistry. It builds belief inside the locker room. Fans who were feeling discouraged suddenly have a reason to get excited again. And opponents who were overlooking Chicago won't be doing that anymore. This game could be the moment the Bears look back on months from now and say, that's where the turnaround started. For the Eagles, this loss raises questions about consistency, about their ability to handle physical teams, and about whether cracks are beginning to show heading into the playoffs. But for the Bears, this is pure momentum, pure energy, pure potential. Chicago didn't just win a game. They made a statement. They woke up the league. And if they keep playing like this, the NFC isn't ready for what comes next.